Hello Data Wizards and welcome back to day number 7 of the 12 days to clarity. Today we're going to be talking about an important subject, which is how can visualizations help you focus on the data that's really important for understanding your story. Now before we go into Power BI, go into the comments below and tell us some tricks that you use to help your readers understand what is the focus, what is the main thing that you want them to see in your Power BI dashboards. Now we are in Power BI and we do have a blank canvas. So let's start with a native visualization like a clustered bar chart. We're going to put it here in the middle and we're going to populate our x-axis with our actual, and we're going to also use our countries as our y-axis, just like this. Okay, so now without even adding any comparison, I can already see something very important, that United States all the way down to Austria have a bigger impact on our revenues than pretty much any other country that is below it. And well, this is a very logical thing, right? We usually do more business in some countries, less business in the other. But now, if we want to compare it to something, or if we just actually add our plan data here, we can see that although we can see the differences, they're pretty small. So what we had to do if we would like to, let's say, really focus on United States is not just select it, but what we would have to do is we would have to create a new slicer, add our countries to the slicer like this, and then really choose the ones that we want. So if we want to see Austria, we see Austria. If we want to see Canada, I think it was also China and United States of America, like this. So now we can see it, but of course, again, now the scale is completely off, so I don't really notice what's going on completely. However, if we add a couple of more, if we add Canada, let's say, I misclicked. There we go. If we add Canada, okay, now things are getting a little bit better. But of course, with this kind of view, we're losing all of the other data that we want, right? And now going into this and really just picking the countries that we want with foreseeing the bigger picture, it's a lot of work. So for now, let's get rid of this and let's make this a little bit smaller. And let me show you what we can do with Zebra BI that makes this process a lot more enjoyable and clearer. Now, let's add a Zebra BI table like this. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger as well. And of course, we're going to add our actuals to our values. We're going to add our plan to our plan. And we are going to use the countries for our category. There we go. We have, well, a chart that's pretty similar. However, just like we said before, Zebra BI gives us the automatic variances as well. We also have the relative variances here, and we also have this connection to the plan, I think, visualized a lot better than we have here. Now, if I want to focus on the most important countries for me, Zebra BI has this really cool feature called Top N. I can right-click here on my categories and click on top button M. And now I can choose. I can actually choose to see the top countries, the bottom countries, or a combination of both. I can show you an example where top plus bottom really come out great a little bit later. But let's add top N now. Now we'll filter these top N by our actuals. In our edit mode, we want to see 5. In our focus mode, we want to see 20. Let's make this 6 because I think it was 6, Austria, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 countries that bring in the main bulk, and click OK. And now look at the difference. We have United States, Canada, Germany, United Kingdom, China, and Austria all presented really well, but we can also see that we also have all of the other countries right here, so we don't lose any data. We have the context of, okay, look, in our top 6 countries, we are doing most of our sales, but in all of the others, we're also doing something, you know? And if we would like to have a more detailed view, that means add a country, we can just move our others down and Belgium is going to come out, and then Sweden is going to come out, and of course the others will recalculate to make sense. We also get, of course, the variances for all of the different categories, even for the others, and all calculated automatically by Zebra BI. Now, continuing from this point, let me show you how top, bottom, and would work if we have both of them. So let me just make this table a little bit smaller like this, and you can see that it's fully responsive. If you want to learn more, watch yesterday's video. It was very good. And now let's add another Zebra BI table. We're gonna move it up here next to our first tables, and let's create it again. Let's put actuals in our values. Let's put our plan into our plan. And for our categories, let's use our product category. Okay, now that we have our product category, let's make the top and bottom n function. So top bottom n, we'll go right click, top plus bottom n, and we're gonna do edit mode a little bit more, let's say about 8, okay? Just like this, and there we have it. So we have the best performing and worst performing, right? And now what we can do is we can actually, what I like to do is I like to hide this column and sort them by their variances. Sort them by their variances, create a waterfall chart, and check this out. We can see how our top 4 versus our bottom 4 are performing. And the best part here is that we're not losing any data. We can still see all of the others are still down here, and if we want to add one, we can simply do with just a click of a mouse, just like this. Now in small multiples, we also have the ability to use the top n function. So we have here our small multiples by our business units, and we can already see baby care is our biggest one. But if we quickly want to get some insight, we can also go here to the format visual, and under small multiples find our top n. We can use either items or percentages, and for this use case let's use percentages, and it's already focused on 80%. And what this means is now that our top 4 categories, baby care, wearables, mobile, and audio, bring in 80% of our revenue, and all of the others bring in 20. And many of you already understand that this is a built-in Pareto principle, an 80-20 analysis that really gives us the ability to focus on the 80% that are really bringing in the most impact to our revenues. And when we're making decisions, we're going to make decisions on these 4 biggest business units, because we understand these decisions are going to have the biggest impact on the way that we do business. Now, focusing on the right parts of your data is very important. And so you could see that I've used a sales example to mostly show you how it can be useful. But this doesn't have to be the only thing. Anywhere where you have sales going to different countries, or something like this where we're looking at MRR for a SaaS sale company from different customers, or even something like a brand and portfolio report in Power BI can also be a great way where you can use the top and bottom end functions. Now, if you want more clarity and more focus for your data, try out Zebra BI for free in the link in the description below. Thank you for watching day number 7 of our 12 days to clarity. I'll see you next time.